Okay. All right. I'm usually on my business page, but I can't go live on TikTok and not come back live here. And it's been a minute for me going live, period. The reason why I want to go live, though, is that I've been seeing a lot of people talk about the Alphabet as well as the Amazon stock split, but I've been seeing a lot of wrong commentary. And I was trying to remember if I did a live talking about who was it? Apple and Elon and them when they had a stock split, and I couldn't remember if I did. And I went back looking in my archives on my business page, and I did. I made a lot of content around it, but I didn't go live around it. So even if you're watching now, good. Hello, how are you? I usually talk more crazy, but this is my first time back, so I can't really get too crazy with the people. If you're watching on this replay, I am going to leave this up because I'm being nice today. I'm feeling really nice today. But yeah, a lot of people have been talking about this stock split, which is interesting. Funny enough, back last year, if you're following me on Instagram, you would know that I made this reel talking about the rumor about the stock split when Uncle Jeff stepped down. And I was like, is it a rumor? And and I was like, I have a feeling this shit is for real. And everybody kind of played it down. And I was like, nah, it's something here going to happen, but yet, and still here we are. Interestingly enough, I think what kind of prompted them to do it was when Alphabet did theirs. But Amazon said, I got you, and one up them with the buyback. So I just really want to give some context into what a stock split is and some more logistics when it comes to what's going on with the situation here. So pretty much a stock split is just simply for when a company takes the amount of shares that you have. So if you have one share, it's going to potentially split it up amongst the 20 shares. Like right now, we're going to see with Alphabet as well as with Amazon. And the price is actually going to decrease as the volume of shares increases. Pretty much that's what's getting ready to happen. And if you have a reverse stock split, it's pretty much going to be the opposite, because I had somebody on public ask me about that, and I need to go back and answer them. So with Amazon, their stock split actually takes place at the end of trade, or EOT, on tomorrow. Yes, like tomorrow's payday. And Alphabet takes place on the 15th. And I don't even think Elon is going to talk about his right now, due to the fact that him and the SEC have a little bit of beef right now due to the situation with Twitter. So, hey, I could be wrong. I don't know. But the reason, why are they splitting? It's no bad reason. It's more than likely when companies split is to increase the amount of investors and make the stock price more appealing to more investors. So if you were to see that 2,500 or let's just call it $2,500 dollar price per share, you're probably like, I can't. Some people they can't swing that. So if you were to limit or to lower that $2,500 down to $150 price per share, you're going to get more investors. Granted, they are Amazon as well as Alphabet. The name alone carries, but the price decrease is going to furthermore boost the sentiment for people to invest, period. But with the reason that is really kicking me in the ass to go, I'm really cussing today, to go live, is that I'm seeing people around this that they're going to buy their stock tomorrow. If you want to jump in on this, I have other apps, child, jumping at the same time. If you wanted to jump in on this stock split, you might want to do it immediately. The reason why, and I called this out on Twitter, I called this out on public, is something called a record date. A record date is pretty much a list, as I called it out, of investors that have who have purchased a share of stock before a certain date Oftentimes, companies utilize this record date as the cutoff date to whenever they declare a dividend of these are the investors that are going to receive a dividend. Simple as that. But companies, as well as the SEC, have been utilizing this record date as a means to give the amount or volumes of shares to people when it comes to stock splits. I can attest to this because when Apple did their stock split, I did what I did what I talked about and purchased before, even more before the record date. Whenever the switch happened, got my 5 shares and was good. When other people came to me and said, "Nah, we did all, when they said a split was going to happen our day before, and we didn't get our shares." I told you what to do. So I know a lot of people. Sometimes the record date could be a give or take, but I always use that record date as a CYA. Cover your ass to make sure you're going to get a pass when it comes to the volume of shares that you want. So when it was for Amazon, the record date was May 27th. Yeah, last week. And for Alphabet, the record date is looking like July 1st because their stock split takes place on the 15th. So you always go by that record date as a CYA on when to purchase my stock if I was to either make sure I get that dividend or make sure I was to be opted in when it comes to that stock split. So let's see. Like I said, that the Amazon is right now $25.10 as of close. Alphabet was $2,353. So if you have the money to swing even a full or a fractional shares can be either you can do a half share or depending on the platform, you can call it be 5, 10 or more that you can do because maybe you don't have that 2,500 or you just call it 2,500 straight up and down. That whenever the actual switch happens on Monday, that 2,500 is going to bring that share price down to 150-ish per share, like I called out. So the allure of the stock split is the volume. But if you were to catch this situation on the 6th, whenever the price changes, you might have enough, you got enough to actually buy the volume of stock that you have, that you want them 20 shares at 150, great. If you have the 2,500 to get in and want it now, great. But it's no right or wrong way to play a stock split, especially these two companies. The thing that is the caveat when it comes to the Amazon stock split is that they have a buyback situation when it comes to them. A buyback is simply when the company is going to buy back the stock at the same time you're able to purchase stock. But they're doing that to help drive up the value at the same time. So while the reason why Amazon is doing this is that at the same time they bring in the shares down to $150 price per share, they're hoping that buyback could or would help move that up quicker, that share price up quicker. So while people are probably going to try to get in at the $150 per share, I don't blame you. But the reason of that buyback is that Amazon is in hopes to try to bring that share price up quicker than what people would anticipate. But anyway it goes, it's freaking Amazon. So I don't see any reason why that. But when it comes to the company performance, let me see. I have notes. Let's see. You can't go wrong. It's Amazon. I think they lost their last couple of earnings. They talked about a lot of people dropped from them due to the fact that when they raised their Prime cost, a lot of people dropped from them, as well as when it comes to streaming, when Amazon Video, Prime Video, that they dropped from people, subscribers. But yet and still, Amazon has been really boosting when it comes to betting, especially with their pickup of MGM. tech, as well as to the cloud. And interestingly enough, while it's not still being talked about yet, again, that they still are in talks about purchasing a good stake. It was to purchase the company. Now it's a potential stake in Peloton. So, like I said, it still is. It's not a bad pickup when it comes to who is this? Hey, boo. It's still not a bad pickup when it comes to Amazon. Period. I mean, it's freaking Amazon. But when it comes to Alphabet is not doing a buyback, so that's something to keep in mind. Granted, it's freaking Alphabet. It's Google. They're going to be still fine. And honestly, Alphabet, Google, whatever you want to call them, same person. They're blinding up the cloud. They're getting really into cybersecurity, and they're doing a lot of things that are coming down the pipeline. Some things that I've seen and talked about on my stories, on my content, and you can't go wrong with either one of these companies. And I mentioned earnings, and earnings is pretty much the report card for companies of how they perform the quarter before, financially, operationally, all that good shit. And this is how the companies have done. And they're very intricate for investors to know about. Granted that these two companies had a mixed earnings, and I actually have on my TikTok a very detailed breakdown of both of these companies and their earnings last quarter, a couple of weeks ago. So I wouldn't say either one are a bad company. Freaking is Amazon and Alphabet. But you can't go wrong with them. And to call out, most of the time people are looking to invest in companies. They are looking to invest in companies for the dividend. I get it. I do. I like dividends. I like those payouts. Depending on what it is, it could be quarterly, it could be monthly. Monthly, especially when it comes to REITs or real estate investment trusts. I mean, dividends are good, but yet and still, with these two companies, they do not pay out dividends. But yet, like I talked about on TikTok, they are good for capital gains, which pretty much is the value, drive up the value. It's what I want to call this out. So at their IPO, which is Amazon, their IPO was $78 and around 20 cents or so. Imagine if you would have been purchased at that $78, but yet and still hold it to now. They don't have dividends yet. They doing shit that we haven't seen before. But imagine if you would still be able to hold it. Just saying. Granted, dividends are very important, but don't let that be the only thing or the only reason that you purchase a company, or you're holding a company, or you're watching a company. Let's see. Should you? The question that I've been getting or I've been seeing is that should you get in on the split before or after? Like I said on public, like I said on Twitter, like I've been saying until I'm blue in the face, no pun. There's no right or wrong way to play the stock split. It all goes back to you, your portfolio diversification, your bag, meaning how much money you had. And like I said on TikTok, please don't spend your bill money if you don't have the extra $2,500 in your brokerage, or you have not automated to stack up for it. Don't spend your money on this if you don't have it. If you have enough to do a fractional share, great. The fractional shares are still going to see some kind of kickback on this stock split. Let me repeat this. The fractional shares are still going to see some kind of kickback on this stock split. It's not only for the full. Okay. So even if you have a fractional share, you're still going to see some kind of kickback. It's going to be calculated. I'm not doing a Medea calculating on this right here. It's up to the SEC, all them that be. I'm not calculating it. It's up to them to determine what that will be for you, because it's different variations of how much stock the people purchase. But like I said, it's up to you, your bag, how much you have, your financial goals, and just how you feel like playing it. But like it's no right or wrong way to play it. You can remember what I say. The thing when it comes to stock splits is that it could be the volume. But hey, what if you don't have the 2,500, but then down the line you have the wherewithal to pay to buy the 20 some things of shares of Alphabet or whoever. But yet still the caveat to it is the share price. We know more than likely, I have to say, the price could, I'm using this because I don't want the SEC to get me. The price could potentially go up after these splits happen. Could. You picking up what I'm putting down? So that's the only thing that you're leaving up for, is that whenever the price goes up, but you can buy the volume regardless either way. So, like I said, the thing that I've been seeing people saying is that they're gonna buy this full share or a fractional share tomorrow. I will always say, CYA, play by their record date or as soon as possible. And if you don't have the full 2,500, it's fine. It's okay. You still can do the fractional share. I just don't want people going out and spending their whole life savings to purchase something the same way they did with Dogecoin or what was that, GameStop, Stop, or AMC. I just don't want people doing that. Okay. Granted, we know that the return when it comes to these two are still gonna be very critical, very good. But I just don't want people doing that when it comes to investing. And also something to call out, especially when it comes to Amazon, is that it's over 300 ETFs with Amazon in it. So if you don't feel like buying the full share, you can find a ETF, exchange traded fund, with a good holding of Amazon in it. Just saying, you can't play this split before, during, or after wrong. It's no way to play this wrong. I just want people to know more insights when it comes to investing, that record date situation. That was one of the things that my ass was paid attention to when I was studying for that Series 6 test. Okay, Series 6, whatever number it was, because it still traumatizes me to this day. That record date is something that I knew before I even started talking about personal finance, period. Because I remember talking about it back at Snoopy, that was a very important thing when it comes to securities, especially when it comes to stocks, dividends, as well as when I know then stock splits, reverse stock splits, or something else. One thing that my memory showed me is that it was a reverse stock split. I forgot what company. Oh, I know what company it is, but I'm not going to tell you. It was a reverse stock split, which is pretty much when the company does different. The volumes change, the price goes up. And the reverse stock split happened in 2020. So at the same time, I participated in 2 stock splits. I participated in, unbeknownst to me, a reverse stock split. So that's what I have to say. But I wanted to get on because I've been seeing a lot of commentary, not necessarily just from people who wanted to jump in. I get it's a lot of excitement, but I just wanted people to know about that. Is that you have that July 1st cutoff. I opted for Alphabet, but more than likely, like I told somebody, hey, that somebody today that I would potentially buy it as soon as possible, but I will always play by that record date when it comes to getting in on the split, trying to get in before a dividend is being paid out. And then you can always go and try to configure, I think, dividend record dates usually, 90 days before? 60 to 90 days before? Look at me remembering something. Long haul who? So, like I said, it's no wrong way to play it. Oh, sorry, 120. Wrong way to play it. Not 120. Oh, okay, I was thinking about something else. But it's no right or wrong way to play a stock split. But I would say you can't go wrong with either company. You can't go wrong with either way you play it. Something else I want to call out since I'm here, I'm trying to think how long I've been on, is that I've been seeing a lot of people talk about their retirement fund. And the reason why I'm calling this is because I looked at one of my TikToks today. telling people to really research, audit research, as well as realign when it comes to their retirement funds. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me or do a comment saying that I'm watching theirs. Yes, I know, you're fine. The reason why I'm saying that is that when no matter if their economy is sweet or shitty, that I tell people to watch their portfolios, their stock portfolios, but also be very mindful of what's going on in your retirement plans because for some, your barrier of entry to investing is your 401k. And a lot of people saw in 2020 when all this it started that they saw a big decline in their 401k when the markets went down. I tried to make it rhyme, couldn't do it. So while we've been seeing some volatility, and honestly, truly, if I must be honest, we're gonna still see them. It's still gonna be a lot of volatility through the rest of this year into probably the first half of next year. That you should be recalibrating your portfolio, your retirement fund as much as you can stand it. I would at least say at least quarterly. Just under the researching what's in your retirement fund to see how it's performing. You pay those people or a service fee, call them people up. That's my usual thing, and ask them about your holdings and how they're performing. And if they are not too happy about it, you can always change your allotment anytime from 0 to 100 or whatever you need to make that 100 up. So the reason why I don't know why I just felt compelled to say that. You might want to take that for a grain of salt. It's because I know everybody is talking about comparing what we're in right now to 2020, but I've been comparing the economy right now to 1970, 73. I've been saying it out my neck, and dag nabbit, I saw CNN called 70, 73 as what we looking at. Somebody need to call me because I've been nailing it when it comes to what we're seeing in the economy and how it's playing out. The only thing that this is the differential between now and 73 is that they ain't had a panorama. They had a panorama, it just didn't deal with the whole economy. It had crack. If you heard me under my breath, you understood what I said. That's the only thing that was difference between 70, 73 compared to now, is that we had a bigger panorama. But the economy, the inflation. You've been hearing people say the inflation hasn't been this high in over 40 years. It's kind of close, right? That's when the slope of a 70, 73 started to ease off. I wasn't even born yet. So that's all I'm saying is a lot of people have been comparing what we've been seeing last 2 years, the last recession. I don't call them the GPSs, I call them cliff notes. But I also call 7073 a cliff note because what we're seeing right now, nobody has seen this before. And Janet Yellen said that they overjudged inflation. I said, you sure did. She did, and I'm telling you, we're probably going to get another response similar to this probably in a couple of months from Jerome Powell about what they're doing with tapering. I digress. Back to what I'm here for. So the stock split that is happening for both Amazon and for Alphabet, you can't go wrong with either one. You got the 2,300, 2,500 to play in. Depending on what the share price is at the end of close tomorrow, meaning at 4:30, that's what you just go ahead and call it to be on Monday, $150 a share. That's going to be a new share price. We're going to call it that. So if you have this 2,300, 2,500, great. If you can do fractional shares, great. If it's not in your budget, figure out what you're going to do next week. Oh, something else that I wanted to call out is that due to the volume of this stock split comparison to Apple and Elon and them, that don't be surprised if the volume does not show up in your portfolio on the 6th or the 7th. It might be a minute. It might happen, it might not. The reason why is because the volume. The last stock split that we witnessed, it went from 1 to 5. This is going from 1 to 20. You see? So it depends on your brokerage. It can be between the 6th and that whole week that it could show up. But more than likely, I think that they're preparing to be that 6th, 7th. Little scope right there. That's what I've been seeing some brokerages saying beyond just public. That's not the only people I pay attention to now. But that's why I would say it's no right or wrong way to play this stock split. And I just want to call out too is that Elon is potentially doing his stock split. But if you want to call out the difference, the last stock split that they had for Elon, I think they were look at me pulling up. They went to, what was it? It wasn't 3,000. It's like 2,000. And it pulled it down. I forgot, it pulled down 600. Now that's right at 700, so it's not bad. But you have to think about it going through a lot right now. But if you got in on Elon, I call it Elon, I don't call it by the car. They've been having a pretty rough week. So if you got in on it, they had that 52-week low was $571.22, and they had 700. So if you got in on that $500, you did good. But like I said, it's no right or wrong way to play this stock split. If you can get in on it, good. If you cannot, good. It all goes back into your budget, how you want to play it. Is it going to be a full fractional ETF, or which side of the split is going to happen? It's no dividends payout. That's all I got. Don't know if I have any questions. I don't think I had. I'm trying to think of any common questions I had with the stock split. I think I remembered all of them that I had. That record date and that cutoff is the one that I've been getting the most. And that's the one I really wanted to go live to talk about, was making sure people know about that. Because if you go try to make that it on tomorrow at 4:00, it's a good chance it might not be in your favor. So that you could not. I don't know. But I will always CYA and try to play against that record date or as soon as possible. It could. I don't know. A lot has changed or enhanced since 2020. So I don't think I have any questions. If you have any questions on the replay, it's been a long time, but I remember that. If you have any questions on the replay, drop them in the comment section. This is on my personal page. I don't even know how this should go. Drop them in the comments. I will answer them. Y'all know I'm pretty much of an open book. What else? That I talked about this in my email as well as in my stories today, is that as of immediately, effective immediately, it's nothing bad. Don't get scared, okay? That I am starting to expand my coaching to being monthly, as well as some other things that are coming. So that is something that I want to tell you publicly, that I am doing that. As well as the office hours that is next week or next Wednesday. So I'm not going to be doing this frequently. It might be whenever I feel like it, because I'm switching to the office hours like scope of doing things now. So if you want to find out about that, that's on my website. But I have those. That's pretty much gonna be twice a month, and then I probably do this every so often. But yeah, the office hours next week is gonna be talking about volatility and how to buffer yourself during this shit show that we're seeing right now. So, any questions? Going once, going twice, going 3 times in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm sleepy. Not really sleepy. But if you're watching this in the replay, just answer the questions below in the Dropbox, in the box below. I said Dropbox. What am I thinking? Am I on? I forgot. In the box below. But yeah, so I will potentially, go live here often. I usually go live on my business page, and I just said, let me just try here to see how it does. Because I technically have more followers here than on my business page. But hey, whatever. So, all right, that's it.